I should have. Well, as I was driving here, the first thing I thought was maybe I should put some notes together. I was like, now I can figure this out, and I didn't know I'd be on camera now, so let's see if I don't screw this up. Yeah. First of all, thanks so much. You guys are a huge part of the marathon. For all the stuff we do planning it, literally I can't tell how many times we sit there and go, we'll have guys on bikes, we'll have the light patrol out there. So without you guys, we really could not produce this kind of event. How many returning veterans do we have? Uh-oh. No. Perfect. If I can start from scratch, I don't have to worry about any of the old stuff. Well, anyway, the course is very similar to the way it was in the past, and it was put together by Iva and myself, and we're both runners. So we like to think from a running standpoint. If you ever have any questions, you probably just go, well, where would I like to ride or run if I was out here? That's usually going to answer the question for you. But it's a really straightforward course. We stay really close to the intercoastal as much as we can. We go straight down, come straight back, go straight north. We only have a few little switchbacks, and we need to add in some distance. So it's a pretty simple course. You're basically going to go straight south, hugging Flagler Drive, wherever it goes along the intercoastal. We all know that there's a little jog going to go down to Washington. You cut back over to Flagler at Greenwood. You go straight down to Gregory. Gregory's going to end at West Palm Beach. So you're going to take that out to Olive Avenue, which we all know turns into Federal, and when it gets south into Lake Worth. The big change this year, before we just went straight down Federal, had a turnaround cone drop and came right back. Now we go farther south. The folks in Lantana really wants to come that way, so we go all the way to Lantana. But let's face it, would you rather ride along the lake or would you ride along Federal Highway? So we cut over to the lake. So now we go into Lake Worth. We take the immediate first left, which is Duke. Take that left, and we go down to their closest thing to Flagler Drive, which is North Lakeside Drive. And we go straight south. And again, we're staying as close to the intercoastal there again as we can. We're just going straight south. There's a little turn when you get basically down past the golf course, when you go across Lake and Lucerne, across the Lake Worth Avenue Bridge. But again, we're going to go straight past the bridge. We close it off, and we don't ride across it or run across it. For some runners, the last thing you want to do is go nice, flat, fast course, and you go, it's a big old bridge, thanks. So we go right past it, and again, we stay along their most intercoastal driven route, straight south to Lantana. One big change you're going to see on race day, and I can't set it up for you until race day, is where Federal Highway and Dixie merge together into one, just north of Lantana Avenue. And when it gets to Lantana Avenue, we'll just be using the eastern lanes, so it'd be the northbound driving lanes. Obviously, I wouldn't want you guys to ride right into oncoming traffic, but on race day, we will be just using those lanes. People will hit that merger at Federal and stay to the left. We'll go down, and when they get to Lantana Avenue, which is Dixie Highway and Lantana Avenue, which is obviously a major intersection, we'll just be using those two lanes on the eastern side to make that turn. We turn at, I can't remember what the name of the road is. It's not Ocean Avenue. We turn before Ocean Avenue, cut into some small cross streets, and then cut over to Ocean Avenue. Ocean Avenue is the main road that goes across, it's where the Key Lime House is. Most people usually go, oh, that one, okay, got it, Key Lime House. It's also one that runs right over into the Ritz-Carlton. And again there, it's a small, narrow road. A lot of pedestrians use it all the time. We will narrow it down as much as we can. By this point, it's only the full marathoners, so we're going to try to minimize traffic there. But again, we'll be planning on using all those lanes, but come race day, as the runners thin out, we're going to thin it down a little more because we do seal off some neighborhoods in there, and we don't want to be too much of a pain. The cone drop turnaround will be in the parking lot at Ocean Avenue and Ocean, directly north of the Ritz. You guys, there's a parking lot there. Dune Decks is there. We'll be using a section of that parking lot for a cone drop. The exact distance will be determined. Drop the cone, everybody turns around, and guess what? They come all the way back up. The difference here is when they get back to West Palm Beach, or actually, like West Palm Beach, when they get onto Federal, they stay on Federal. They come straight back Federal from Lantana, all the way up Federal, into downtown West Palm Beach, right at Diana Place, which is the Norton Museum. There's a nice roundabout there. We're going to take that roundabout, cut back over to Flagler, and then they come back through downtown, the middle point of our figure eight course. And here's where things get fun. The halves, which there was a turn earlier for that, but I wouldn't want to bore you with that. The halves will finish in this lane, coming northbound right here in the western lanes of Flagler Drive, and they'll finish right here, which is the same as our start. The fulls will be over in the easternmost lanes and will continue north. They will run straight through up to 36th Street, which is where Flagler Drive curves into Poinsettia. We'll take a left, come back down Spruce, go back 34th Street, so it's just a big loop back onto Flagler Drive. As you heard me telling Kevin, we were a little short on distance. We added another section. We take 31st Street out to Spruce, make a left, come back, back right back on 30th Street, back onto Flagler Drive, and finish coming south. Big difference from last year. Big change right here is the full will now finish at Datura Street. Okay, so the half and full finishes are different. Basically, we didn't want to have to run the fulls past the finish line again and turn them around and come and bring them back. There's nothing worse than seeing the finish line 3 times within mile 20 and going, how am I not done yet? Even though you can see the mile markers, you know where you're at. It's rough on the brain. And so now the fulls will finish right there at Datura Street. So basically it creates, if the courses were to continue, they would run into each other. This block in between is what we call runner recovery and just kind of that buffer area for that. And that is the course.